extraordinary music.
What's going on, Masterclass family? This is your boy, Mr. Adams, and I'm bringing you the trade of the day, or one of many trades today. There were a lot of great trades. Today, I would do a highlight on Googl. Googl was a 3-to-1 trade today. You could say 3.5, maybe 4, but a good average is a 3-to-1 trade. So let's do a quick review on Googl. Yesterday, Googl, I don't want to say it was all the way consolidated, had some movement yesterday morning. It consolidated a good portion during the day and had slight movement towards the end of the day. However, when it finished, all of the moving averages merged together yesterday to begin to form a goal. What really caught my attention with Googl is that this morning, Googl gapped up along with several other stocks. There was some positive news in the market, and overall market had a really great day. So Googl caught my attention because the stock price gapped up above this married level. The married level that I'm speaking of is the pivot point and the daily high-low right here. That's tightly together. Plus you have the VWAP right along with it. And it still has a gold setup with all the moving averages being tightly together. These dashes right here were the prices during the pre-market, which put Googl on my radar. Along with that, if you take a look at the Chalk money flow and the money flow oscillator, both of them were extremely positive. And when the market opened, the first candlestick bounced right off of the 200-day moving average, the red line here. It closed above both married levels, the 10-day moving average, and the VWAP. That's a very strong signal. The second candle closed above it as well. If you were bold and you wanted to hop right in, you could have took this entry right here. However, it would have been tested. The next two candles came down and they tested the 20-day, the 200, and the daily high, and it held those levels. So this would have been your ideal entry right here. It would have got you much better pricing than if you had entered up here. Either way, you would have been fine because look how the trade played out. The stock from there ran from 1040 all the way up to 1050, and your exit could have been right in here when the candlesticks began to close below the 10-day and the 20 or the 20-day moving average, thus giving you a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 trade depending on the strike price that you purchased. Taking a look at Googl on the 1-hour chart, first thing you'll notice is the TTM squeeze. So there has been some consolidation that has been taking place with Googl here. The candlesticks were not above the cloud earlier in the morning, but they eventually broke over the cloud. We do like to see candlesticks above the cloud. So this is probably an exception to the rule because Googl is a big stock and had a strong setup. And it was above the cloud on the 30-minute. Not only was it above the cloud, it was above all of the other moving averages, which is somewhat of a silver setup on the 30-minute. So we were able to make an exception here on the cloud for the 1 hour. You don't have to make exceptions. It's important to follow your rules, but if you have conviction, then you can take the risk and then deal with it accordingly. On the daily chart, you can see how Googl gapped up on December 27th and ran all the way to 1060, formed a flagpole here, and then came back. There was some selling pressure. People were probably taking profits. It formed a doji candle yesterday, which held this purple 20-day moving average, and then broke above the day this morning, thus giving you another form of support on the daily chart. Plus, you have a flag developing on Googl here on the daily chart. If I were to just draw the trend line from there down through the doji, that's your flag. And here is your flag pole. right after earnings were released. If we were to take just a quick look at Google on a naked chart, you can see how the high right here is 1063. If I were to draw that straight across this one trend line, you can see how Google was holding this level right in here. You see this wick? They're starting to get higher. That lets you know that Google had found some type of support as far as the demand zone is concerned. And it bounced right off of it today. Here, you can see Google had found some resistance around this 1050 area, thus making it the ideal target for Google because it hit this 1050 area on multiple occasions. So when it broke out today, 1050 was the ideal target. If we were to take a look at the options chain for Google, I purchased the 1050 call options. They opened up at 138 and they hit a high of 450. You could have purchased the 1047 fives for 240 and they hit a high of $5.95. Either way, you would have tripled your money had you placed the Google trade. So the trade of the day here is Google Masterclass. Dominate.